Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here. We're about 30 minutes from kickoff. I'm down here in the man cave with Joe Boo. He's got his chicken wings, and I've actually got my game day meal as well. So I am ready to rock and roll and get this game going. Seems like I set off a bomb today, talking about the video I put up earlier a couple hours ago about Tony Romo versus Dak Prescott. And, you know, if you guys don't want to watch me, that's fine. I understand. We can all have our own opinions. I'm giving you my opinion that we don't go back to Tony Romo, and that I'm not sure that Tony Romo is the Tony Romo from 2014. The reason why I did that video is plain and simple because people have been coming at me telling me I'm an idiot, I'm starting a whole fire and everything else. Tony Romo is so much better, and that Dak Prescott isn't crap. You know, I heard stuff about how dare Dak Prescott go to a club on his off day when he should be home studying the playbook. And I kept saying, pot, meet, kettle, because Tony Romo went to Cabo with Jessica Simpson before the playoffs. So if you're going to condemn Dak Prescott, then you should also be condemning Tony Romo for his actions. And when you look around the NFL, the fact that the Dallas Cowboys are 11-2, something that the team in its history has only done 17 times, I think you get the benefit of the doubt. Tony Romo's only done that 3 times in his whole career. And when you keep saying that, oh, Tony Romo is so much better of a quarterback, yeah, that may be true. In totality, but unfortunately we have a lot of games that prove that that may not be the case when everything's on the line. So that was my response to all of the stuff that I've been getting, because I didn't want to do that one, because I love Tony Romo. Tony Romo's been a fantastic quarterback, but right now the arguments that you guys are making are asinine, flat out. Okay, when Tony Romo's best season, Dak Prescott is matching everything except for touchdown passes, but is adding 5 rushing touchdown passes. You're on the assumption that that's the Tony Romo you're going to get, but there's no guarantee. At least I'm in good company, because Jimmy Johnson a couple hours ago said the same thing, that I don't think that Tony Romo is still the same Tony Romo that can carry the team. See, what happens is us as fans is we remember the electrifying plays. You know, like when you think of Michael Vick, you don't think of Michael Vick that can't run and can't throw now. You think about Michael Vick that's going through running like crazy, but you forget the bad times. And I think that's part of the problem is, like when you grow up from a small town or from your town, what you remember about the place you grew up is everything was great. It was wonderful. You don't remember the things that were wrong or things that were bad. You only remember the good times. And that's where we are with Romo. So I'm done with that. That's my argument on it. And it doesn't really matter, I guess, because guys that are truly Tony Romo fans, they're delusional anyway, that you make is not going to make sense. So we're going to be done with that. But I decided to start a few minutes early tonight because, you know, I'm just ready to get this game on. I'm hoping the Cowboys end up kicking Tampa Bay's butt, and we can finally stop all of this nonsense of the Cowboys are about to fail. Joe Boo's got his wings ready to go. I got a little ribeye roast I made with some French bread and some good old cowboy. Take a look at that. Some nice cowboy stew. So I changed up a little bit tonight, hoping that the Dallas Cowboys, it changes their mojo and they can get it going. Let's look at some of your questions. Yeah, you know, that's true that Tony Romo every year was always playing golf. But you know what? Go aside right now. Let's focus in on Tampa Bay. Like I said, we've got chicken wings, of course. Joe Boo always has to have his chicken wings. I had some nachos earlier and some meatballs, but I've got some rib roast that I cooked out on the grill with some horseradish sauce and some cowboy stew. See, here we go again. I'm calling it now. Romo comes in the third quarter to save our season. Mark it down, but no pun intended. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I am giving them too much time. Like I said, I should have been done with it before, but I just got to the point where, when just some of the arguments are so crazy. Oh, you can't count 2015 because he was injured. What? That's the whole point. And the sad thing is right now, if Tony Romo were leading the team and the team ended up being, say, 11-5, everybody would have been happy and said that Tony Romo is the best quarterback of all time. But Dak is 11-2. He's got a chance to at least tie Tony Romo's best record, possibly even beat it. Okay, but anyway, the Dallas Cowboys are going to run like crazy tonight. I think that they're going to end up having Zeke is going to have about 140 yards. We're going to get back to rolling out and getting Dak in space and getting back on track. Dez isn't going to drop balls. And the defense is going to play lights out and get 2 turnovers. I think most of the time that Carr will be on Mike Evans. He's a troll. Who's a troll? Mr. Chips. Who's a bigger threat, Winston or Evans? Well, you can't really have one without the other. Mike Evans won't do anything without Winston, so they're both a threat. I don't know if Jerry's holding him hostage. I mean, truth of the matter, he can if he wants to, but I still keep telling you guys, forget the noise of what Jerry says. The one you need to pay attention to is Stephen Jones. Stephen is running the team. This team is not like it was 4 or 5 years ago where Jerry was on the sidelines running things and basically trying to coach the team. Jerry is basically the face of the franchise, and that's it. He's not picking guys like he used to. If that were the case, we'd have Johnny Manziel or RG3 here or AP. He talks a lot, and that's about the extent of it. Yeah, Winston, we do need to contain him, but their offense in the last 5 games has only had 9 touchdowns, so it's not exactly like a light 'em up team. Now, one other thing as far as Dak versus the Giants last week, it looks like the NFL is going to fine the Giants for the walkie-talkie use. It makes you wonder how much did they really use it, because it seemed like they almost knew exactly what the Dallas Cowboys were doing, but we'll see what comes out of that. But when you look at what the Giants defense ended up doing to Matthew Stafford this week, I mean, they only put up 6 points. And it'll be interesting to see if we hear the same chatter that we heard about Dak Prescott Monday morning about Matthew Stafford, because that was a game they needed. Because now all of a sudden with Green Bay playing well, their playoff spot is in doubt. What team do I want to beat the most in the playoffs? Oh, man. Well, because I'm old school, if the Redskins made it to the playoffs, I would love to beat them. And I would definitely love to beat the Giants because of what's happened this year, because having those 2 losses are killing me. And I'm sorry, I'm starving. I'm going to grab a little chili here. Way to go. Glad you got your chili and your wings. Hopefully it'll help the Cowboys. And if you're of age, don't forget your rum. I got a rum and Coke to start out. Oh, Joe Boo doesn't have it. Good Lord. I'm slipping. Got to get Joe Boo his rum too. Yeah, Doug Free. That's been part of the problem with Dak Prescott. Doug Free has been having some really bad games, and he's been letting some guys free. They're going to need to actually get him some help between the running back or a tight end or something, because he's just been bad. Biggest key for the night. Well, thank you, Mystic, for subscribing. Well, here's the funny thing when you talk about Doug Free getting somebody killed. Can you imagine if Tony had been out there? And that's the funny thing that Jimmy Johnson was saying, that everybody assumes that the Cowboys would have won against the Giants, but a lot of people don't think that that's necessarily the case. Way to go, Ryan Clark. I'm glad you got your rum too, man. Just don't drink too much of it. Although the Cowboys will make you drink. And I got to tell you guys, last night was incredible with the phone in. I've got to figure out a different phone system because the call waiting coming through ended up kind of clicking and kind of messing up some of it. So I'll get better with that as it goes along. But it's great to actually talk to you guys from across the country and things. So we're definitely going to be doing some more of that. Definitely going to be here at halftime, and I'll also be here after the game so we can discuss what happens and where we go next. Well, I think they're talking about playing Alfred Morris because fresh legs. Alfred Morris, playing Darren McFadden over Alfred Morris because he's got fresh legs. Not that Alfred Morris has had a bad season, but it's not real explosive. He's more of a pounding ground. You might end up getting a couple of big plays from Darren McFadden, who, quite frankly, is in a contract year. He's a free agent at the end of the season, and he's looking for his next gig. So he's going to be motivated to do something. So that's probably why they're putting him in there, hoping that he can get a little burst. Any reason for a blank screen? Well, the TV is actually on. I guess too much light. Let me try turning the light off. See if that clears it up. There you go. Had the ceiling light on so you can see me better. So it's actually probably better that I'm in the shade because then I don't look quite so old. So if the camera's not focused directly on the TV, you don't get the perfect view. And the other thing on that, too, is if the NFL finds out that you're streaming their stuff, then you get shut down, and we don't want to get shut down. Hennessy and ribs. That actually sounds pretty good, too. How'd you do your ribs, man? Did you barbecue them? Thanks for subscribing, guys. Yeah, you can definitely blame a lot of injuries on Doug Free. I mean, he hasn't been a bad player. He's just not an elite one anymore. When Randy Gregory going to play? He'll be able to start practicing starting on Tuesday. I've made my feelings known that I don't think that he's going to be a bonus for the team. And quite frankly, with the year-long suspension hanging over his head, that I'm not that crazy about the whole idea. But hey, what do I know? I'm a guy with a voodoo doll. Well, here's the thing about the Giants. The Giants' defense is what's winning them games. It's certainly not their offense because Eli Manning is pathetic right now. Their offense stinks, but that defense is winning them games. So don't discount them. I'm hoping that, Bill, I'm hoping that the score will be 31-21 is what I'm thinking. But we'll see how it goes. Joe, I hope you win that $100 tonight. Well, we don't have to wait for Randy Gregory to mess up, Ryan. I mean, he already has because he's failed another one. It's just the NFL hasn't decided what the punishment's going to be. And that's, again, Zach, you hit the nail on the head right there, too. A lot of the big plays that we actually made in the last couple of weeks have been brought back because of penalties, and then it's put you in third and long. And I think I'm trying to remember the exact number because I believe – because everybody keeps saying that the Cowboys are 2 of 24 on third down conversions, but I think like 17 or 18 of them have been for 7 yards or longer. It's not a high percentage of first downs that you're going to get when you're going for 7 yards or more. Well, Lyle is not quite ready to return, and that may be a possibility come playoff time that Collins does replace Doug Free. But maybe Doug will be able to get it together tonight, and who knows? He may have some nagging injury that we don't know about. Hey, Chris. Hey, Crystal. So, Rodney, you thought the Cowboys were going to be 13-3 before the season started? Huh. How did I see it? I said actually 11-4. I'm sorry, 11-5, which, quite frankly, if we were 11-5 for the season, that's a good season by any stretch of the imagination. There were a lot of unknowns about our defense, You didn't know how Tony Romo was going to play or how long he was going to last. So, you can't expect a team to win more than about 11 or 12 games a season. Yeah, I'm with you, Ryan. I hate people asking about Randy Gregory. It's actually sad more than anything else for a guy to have the talent that he has, to not only mess up his football career but his future earnings. I mean, you think about how much money has literally gone down the drain. I mean, that's some good shit he must have been smoking, because basically he's lost about $15 to $20 million. Morris Claiborne coming back soon. I hope he is, but it's been, I keep saying he's going to be back before the end of the season, but I haven't been hearing a whole lot more about it lately. So you have to wonder, is it going to be worse and maybe not make it back? So we'll see if that happens or not. I'm looking for the defense to get 2 turnovers tonight. We should have had 7 last week, but we just couldn't hold on to those. Sarah, I'm sorry, Sarah. I didn't see you. I'm sorry. The stuff is scrolling through so fast, and I'm sitting here looking at this food because I haven't eaten. Sarah, I'm sorry. Forgive me, girl, because you are one of my best supporters. I'm sorry I did not see you. Hi, Sarah. I hope the jet suite's in full set tonight. I hope we can just get on track. Like I said, last week was just a bad game all the way around. Brandon Green, you want me to give you a shout out? And you watched my show every day? Thank you, man. Brandon, I appreciate you watching the show and watching my videos. It still mystifies me because I just like talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and I love studying football. I love to try and find the ins and outs and things like that. And most people, I'm actually bored to death talking about football. When I start talking to my wife about stuff, she's kind of like, yeah. Or my son, although he's a Cowboy fan, he definitely likes to listen. But this is a great outlet for me to be able to go through and just have a conversation and meet all of you great people across the country. I just love doing this. I love the fact that the Dallas Cowboys have been having this incredible season, and I hope that we can keep it up and go all the way, because this would be fantastic to do this for 2 more months and just be able to just kind of say, read between the lines, NFL, the Dallas Cowboys are the world champions. That's my wish. That's what I want for Christmas. So hopefully we can get that. But all of you guys have been fantastic. Like I said, the call-in was really cool last night. I think we had I didn't get to all of the calls because I had some of those call waitings. I think we had over 70 phone calls last night, which for the first time, I think that's pretty cool. But I can always ask you guys if there's something that you'd like me to be able to do, or something that would make the show better, or whatever, comments, ideas, be sure to let me know. Well, I love you all of you guys too. Oh, you know what? The Eagles ended up playing, terrible. But I mean, I hate the Eagles. Thanks, Tyrone, for loving the channel. And how much time? God, will this game ever kick off? I can't wait. I see the Cowboys winning this game tonight. So hopefully we'll get to definitely get to 13. So we'll get to 12 tonight. Hopefully we'll beat Detroit. And I don't know, if anything, the Eagle game, it might be rest everybody. Glad QPW 311. Glad you got your chicken wings, your jersey, and your rum. That'll be a good question if Lucky is out of the doghouse, because Lucky was suspended last week, so we'll see what happens on that. Yeah, Brian, definitely. I think a lot of you guys are in Houston or from Dallas, and I'm imagining that if the Dallas Cowboys end up going to the Super Bowl, that 3.5-hour drive, there'll be a lot of Cowboy fans that'll be there. I'm hoping to go to Dallas on the Monday of the week before Super Bowl, then drive to Houston on Tuesday, and I'll be in Houston until after the Super Bowl. I'm praying that the Cowboys pray that the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, because that would be fantastic. Go to the Star, do some reports from there. Go to the stadium, do some reports. Maybe do a meetup in Dallas, and then do some stuff at the Super Bowl. So hopefully I'll have a couple of little events where we can all get together, maybe live stream a show from a bar or something in Houston. So Ryan, you're from Houston. I'm on the Benet Emery show, and what I need to do is we're going to actually have part of the crew there for Sunday. I need to find a good bar or restaurant that we can set up for several hours and have a Wi-Fi, a good Wi-Fi. So maybe you could help me out figuring out a good place to be. The main Super Bowl setup is going to be around Discovery Park, and I don't know what's good around Houston around there. So if you can help scout me out something, I'd appreciate it. And let me leave my email address, and it's markwoodmore@aol.com. If you can, any of you guys that are in Houston, if you can think of a great place that would be good for us to broadcast from, please let me know. Yeah, we definitely need to get a better job of handling blitzes. But here's the thing. You got to also understand that it's not like we've been playing Little Sisters of the Poor. We've been playing some really good defenses. I mean, talking about Minnesota, Baltimore, and now the Giants. The Giants seem to be peaking at the right time. So they get paid too to play football. So you can't expect to be perfect and stop everybody every single time. Yeah, Zeke is doing his part most of the time, pretty much most of the time, except for the first game was probably his worst one. But it's a team effort all the way around. And you know, when receivers are dropping passes, when linemen are getting penalties, when the quarterback is missing reads, it's a team problem. Well, thank you, Brandon. I'm glad I'm teaching you. So I'm hoping that I'm teaching you something that's correct. Antonio, 27. I'll take 27-17. And hopefully, yeah, Space Cowboy. Hopefully, the Cowboys fans will be there in full force and making some noise. I think our defense is playing fantastic. Over the last 3 games, they're averaging only giving up 17 points. Sean Lee is becoming a beast. 56 tackles in the last 3 games. You know, they're coming along. I wish we had an 800-pound gorilla in there as a pass rusher. We don't, so we end up playing a lot more coverage. But it's a bend, don't break defense, and I'm happy with it. Well, the Cowboys have been great on the running game all year. They're only averaging giving up 83 yards a game, so you can't ask for too much more than that. Although that's a little skewed because the Cowboys have been in the leads most of their games, so teams are having to pass more to try and keep up. Hey, enjoy yourself, man. Like I said, I'm going to be here until kickoff, and I'm going to be throwing down the rest of my dinner and enjoying our Cowboys. I agree with you. Hit the open man. Stop trying to force it to Des. No, here's the thing. I didn't say drive from Virginia to there. I said fly to Dallas and then drive to Houston. So let me say it again. I'll fly to Dallas, drive from Dallas to Houston. It's 3.5 hours from Dallas to Houston. I've made that drive before. Well, thank you, Ramos. I'm glad you found the channel too, man. Game time finally. Thank God. So we can finally put the Giants in our rearview mirror. Yeah, I'd like to see them put a hurting on them on the secondary, put a hurting on Mike Evans when he comes through and catches a pass. Yeah, of course Sean Lee will take Jalen Smith under his wing. I think he probably takes everybody under his wing. And you have to feel happy for Sean Lee. He's also the Dallas Cowboys entry for NFL Man of the Year, so you have to feel great about that. He's always been a great, solid citizen, and he's always played really, really well. It's just been nagging injuries up until last year that has just done him in. If he Did I just take a shower? Yes, I took a shower. So that way, when the game's over with, I can live stream, I can do a couple of videos, and then I can go upstairs and fall the fuck out. If we win as a first round bye, no, not yet, because the Giants win, because technically the Giants could still win the division. Actually, the Giants could technically end up being the #1 seed. So we've got to actually win 2 more games to end up getting that, and the Giants will need to lose 1. Here we go. It's about to come on. Francis Washington, do you live in Dallas or you live in Houston? We're playing in Dallas. Oh, definitely. You definitely, if you're going to Houston for the festivities, try and go early in the week as possible, because that way you can actually get through the NFL experience, the rides and stuff like that. By Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's next to impossible. It's like being at King's Dominion on the perfect weather day. You will literally stand in line for hours upon hours, and you'll never get a chance. Well, Francis, we'll definitely have to hook up. What's my prediction for both teams? Pain. Dallas Cowboys 31, Tampa Bay 21. Fort Worth, cool. Like I said, I'm hoping either way to go fly to Dallas on that Monday, because I'll do the Benet Embry show live in the studio, and I'll be doing some stuff around Dallas and things, so we can definitely figure out a meetup someplace. Cowboy pajamas. You know what? It was best Christmas present, best Christmas present ever. My cowboy slippers are over there too. I probably need to put those on. All right, now guys, getting close. Couple more minutes. Charles Rapper is definitely not playing, but Charles Tapper might be Sandman. He's on the active roster. We'll see if he gets in there. Yeah, let's get that mojo started. So, Jobu. I wonder what stupid thing that Chris Collinsworth will say tonight. See you at halftime, Thomas. I'd love to see Sean Lee with the interception. See you at halftime, Ryan. All right. Getting close. Need to turn the TV up here a little bit. Well, the Cowboys usually like to get the ball first, and I think they would like to go down and make a statement. Mr. Chips, welcome to the show. I know you've been actually making lots of comments and stuff. I'd love to see Zeke with 200 yards, but maybe we ought to try and save some of that for the playoffs.
This win streak's really been about what's happening on the defensive side of the ball. The last 5 weeks, the Buccaneers have had the best.
I'd love for Byron Jones to have an interception.
This will be the 3rd straight really tough defense the Cowboys have faced.
Now it's the Dallas Cowboys, so it's always high drama. And I'm not saying.
Yeah, it's always high drama. You know, it's amazing how you would think that the Dallas Cowboys were the Cleveland Browns. That they just must be totally dysfunctional the way these guys talk about them. They're 11-2, you know, for Christ's sake, 11-2.
And take some of the pressure off Dak Prescott.
It's one of the best matchups.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of people that don't like me because of that video. If you guys want to check it out after the game or whatever, but basically I try to put it in a nutshell, because all these people keep coming out and saying Tony Romo is the bomb diggity. I'm sure that's pretty old, but I got to remind people that there have been some pretty bad games that Tony Romo's had too. And when you look at Dak Prescott, Dak's going to have bad games just like Aaron Rodgers, because you remember the first half of the season, everybody kept saying, what's wrong with Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers is, you know, maybe he should be benched. Right now he's playing lights out. You know, we had Russell Wilson throw 5 interceptions, but nobody talked about that. We had Derek Carr, a MVP candidate, throw 3 interceptions against Kansas City. Nobody talked about him playing terrible. It happens. but it's how you bounce back. And I don't think that one game is what's to come for the next couple. I think it's just one of those just bad games all the way around. Don't worry, we've got a microwave over here in the man cave. And Robert, how much beer you been drinking if you're sweating beer, dog? Good Lord. Don't pass out before the game's over. All right, 8:27, guys. It's about to get kicked off.
Sure, it's free for everyone. Oh, well, that's nice. And checking your score won't hurt your credit. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Well, thank you. Free at Discover.com/credit scorecard, even if you're not a customer.
He just needs 600 plus. Yeah, that would be 600 plus to get the record. You know, the record would be great and all that. I'd rather win a Super Bowl. That's what's more important than the personal records. And that's what most of these guys have been saying, that, look, it's about the team. Even Des Bryant said that, you know, if I have to block every play and we win, I don't care. And quite frankly, the way some of those catches he's been having, he might be better off with Des Bryant doing more blocking. I'll see you at halftime, too. Crystal Renee, thanks for joining. What do I think Des will do tonight? I think he's going to have about 5 catches. I think everybody from last week has a bad taste in their mouth, and I think that they're going to come out and be focused and play really well.
Use your size and resources to create healthy change around the world. Because the best way to stay fresh is to never get stale.
You know, it's funny because people say things like, you know, a rookie quarterback has never won the Super Bowl. And that's true. But my comment to some other people was, you know, a 36-year-old quarterback with 2 broken bones in his back has never won either until it happens. So you can throw all that stuff out the window. Every case is completely different. So don't say it can't be done. It just hasn't been done. I think Romo could be a good coach, too. That's a good point, Blake. And there's Jason Garrett. All right, guys. We are getting close to the kickoff. Is anybody out there nervous? Anybody? I feel good about where the team is right now. I feel good about this game, but we'll see what happens because, you know, it's football. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. There's Jason Garrett with that shit-eating grin. Oh, there's Wrecking Ball. All right. Oh, Cedric Thornton's inactive too. That hurts too. Ooh.
Tampa Bay. Dallas on top. Giants won again today. They're 10-4. So breathing down Dallas's neck. Atlanta.
All right, guys. We need this win.
Tampa Bay is 8-5.
We need this win to hold serve and stay ahead of the Giants.
So there are the standings up to the minute.
Guys, thank you for commenting, watching, subscribing, and I'll see you at halftime. Whew. Go Cowboys. Go Cowboys.
So he did not play in the game at the Meadowlands, but he is back this week. Cowboys won the toss and elected.
We get the ball first.
So as usual, a crowd of more than 90,000 at AT&T Stadium. Ready? And
90,000 plus.
On Sunday Night Football.
It's on, guys. See you at halftime.
One hit.